And it is February 22nd, and this week our art assignment is all about gratitude. So this week I was really down and out. I had a really bad food poisoning experience, really bad. And so I was a little late in posting. By the way, did anybody get the notification from the forum with the preview? Sally did. Karen, you did. Barb, you did. Linda didn't. So if you didn't, do you usually, Linda, get the notifications when things are posted? I'm unmuting you, Linda. I got you. Oh, I'm not.
I usually do, but
you usually do.
It also, if possible, it would be a little helpful for you to do it even the day before, because when you post, I'm sleeping, and then I just see it like when I wake up.
Right. Yeah. Well, this one didn't get posted till today because I've been
yes, under the weather.
But I also heard that there was some issues in not getting the notification aside from that. But anyway, I do try to do it on Monday or Tuesday. But the good news of not posting it earlier this week, because I was very clear on what I wanted our theme to be. So gratitude has come deeply from the heart. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start our warm-up art assignment. And I'm just going to start by inviting you. We're not going to stay here long. We're going to start with kind of the icky and then move out of it quick. Start by making a list of some challenges that you're dealing with right now. They can be little, they can be, big, kind of overwhelming things. They can just be little bothersome, irksome things. Just a list. Just get them out. In about 30 more seconds. It doesn't have to be a comprehensive and complete list. Everybody's like still really like very intent in their list, myself included. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we just need a time to just sit and just let out all the crap. Just a few more seconds to bring your list to a close. All right, so now we're going to make another list, but this one is going to be visual only, no words. You're going to actually take exactly the list that you just did, and I want you to make a column. So you're making a list, but each one of these items, you're going to draw or sketch or doodle something that represents that item. So take one of your challenges and draw or sketch or doodle it, and then right underneath it, or you can leave a little space, but you put them one on just like your list. So it's a visual list. And then pick another challenge, draw, sketch, or doodle it. Then under that, another one. They can be big, they can be small, doesn't matter. I'm going to give you, I'll check in about 3 minutes and see how you guys are, okay? To clarify, it's the same list, but a visual representation of it. Okay, how we doing? Still need a little bit more time? All good? Okay, great. So go back to your first list, which is just the verbal list of challenges. And now for each challenge, I'd invite you to identify there's something about this challenge for which you can be grateful for or find some gratitude in it. So something that's in this challenge where you can find that little sliver of gratitude. And so if you can, just across from the first column of your challenges, just write where the gratitude is hiding out in this challenge. You could just use the simple prompt, I'm grateful for blank. So, for example, I have on my list my husband and his clutter, and so I could find something to that I might be grateful for about either the space or about my husband himself or about his creativity, which of course leads to his clutter. So I'm finding some piece of gratitude. And some of these might be a reach, and that's okay. Just see if you can find some piece of gratitude in there. Could we use another minute? Are we good? Use another minute? Is that a yes? I asked 2 questions and I got nods and I didn't. We'll do 1 more minute. All right, our next step is going to make another visual list. So across from the first visuals, drawings, doodles, scribbles about the challenge, now just draw something that represents the gratitude list. And you don't even have to look up what's on the other side. So say on the left side, you may have a series of drawings that represent the challenges. On the right side, you may have a series of drawings that represents the gratitude. But for right now, just focus on that right side list. As always, they can be scribbles, symbolic, representative, figurative, abstract, anything. And you can go ahead and bring that to a close. If you didn't finish your whole list, that's fine. You can let it be complete as is or go back a little bit later and fill it in. So now you have two columns of visuals, right? On one end, you've got visual depictions of challenges. On the other one, visual depictions of gratitude. So now, very quickly and swiftly, imagine that that you have like a comic strip of, imagine that you could take your challenge image and your gratitude image, and then imagine that you could like break down how the first image becomes a second image. So we're going to have you draw one thing in between them that represents the transition. Right? So if you had a, okay, so I'm going to say it again. So if I have in one column, say, let me just, so on this side, if this is my challenge, here, I'll put it on. If this is my challenge, and over here, this is what represents my gratitude, I'm going to draw something in the middle that represents halfway in between. So it might incorporate some elements of this, but it's not quite this. But you don't have to think about this too much. Think of just on the journey, if this image is going to morph and turn into something else, what does it look like first? Is there anybody who'd like me to say that in a different way? All right, and bring that to a close wherever you are so far. So at this point, you have 3 visual lists: a challenge column, a gratitude column, and then a transition column that's in between. What you don't yet realize, perhaps, is that this is the work of your gratitude gadgets and Gizmodajiggies. So your art assignment today is going to be to create a gratitude gadget in Gizmodajiggie. And a gratitude gadget or Gizmodajiggie is something that is that you get to invent or call into being that takes a challenge and morph it into the gratitude. So it might pull the gratitude out, it might move from the challenge to the gratitude. And I invite you to look at these drawings for some clues on how your gadget and Gizmodajiggie might work. So you might take a look and see, well, what happens when you go from the visual of a challenge to the visual of the gratitude? And you might see if there are some clues there. And there may not be. You may start and have an idea from scratch. Think about creating a gadget or a Gizmodajiggie that is here to help you pull out or enhance or amplify the gratitude in the challenge. So you could do this by picking one of the challenges on your list, or you could do it by selecting some kind of general, something that is this thing, it's a machine, or a you know, some kind of, it's a Gizmodajiggie. It's anything you want it to be. Yeah, Barb.
Okay.
Pardon?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I love playing with all these activities, and whatever I get out of them lasts for about 2 days, and then I fall back into old behavior. And I want to know what kind of gratitude gadget gizmo I can work with that energy.
That is your question, I would think, for today. Right? Is
Right.
that the requirement of your Gizmodajiggy is that it is long lasting and that it is sustaining. So when you're drawing or picturing whatever this thing is and how it works, it needs to have something in there that allows for sustaining, staying powers, that it has something that gets triggered when it notices that things are kind of falling back. So
Okay.
that has to be part of what's built into this.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah. So it's a tool. This is a tool about transitions and a tool that is about morphing. It's a morphing tool. And however that wants to come into being is awesome.
Sustenance.
So I'm going to check in when we're halfway through our playtime. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any other questions.
Remind me again, how long do we have?
Okay, so you're going to have, I'm looking, I went over a little bit here today. Let's see, you're going to have, you're going to have 20 to 40 minutes total. So I'll let you know when we're 20.
All right.
20.
Yep.
All right. I'll let you know when we're 20 minutes in.
Yep.
So Mary Fran says, I don't get what the gizmo does. So the gizmo is some kind of tool that you are inventing or you are imagining that takes a challenge and pulls the gratitude out or transforms the challenge into the gratitude, or maybe it puts a spotlight on it, or maybe it somehow there's a transformation or a mutation that happens that's getting you from the challenge to the gratitude, or maybe pulling the gratitude into the challenge, or it's a gratitude tool, but it's directly related to transforming something within a challenge. You might try, does that help, Mary Fran? You might even try for this art assignment right now to apply it to a challenge in your life right now. Maybe you don't know exactly what the Gizmodajiggy is, but you'd like to go ahead and allow it to, seep into a challenge that you have, and then see what it is uncovered during that. All right? And now we're going to start, and we're all going to say Gizmodajiggy. We're going to say 1, 2, 3, Gizmodajiggy. All right, I'll talk to you in 20 minutes. Let's come back and share our gizmos and gadgets or whatever else came up during this exercise. So, who would like to share first? Yasmin, awesome. Kick us off, girl.
Sorry, I'm in my pajamas and mess. So I did this from the first activity. This was just from the first activity when you suggested comic strip. That was fun because what I did was there was money issues, and then I created a spreadsheet, and then I put like that much money in the calculator. So that was fun. That was just the first one. But this is what I created. So what this is a gratitude gizmo changer, and you want to think of it as like Coinstar. You know, when you put change in there and you get something like that.
Yep.
So this is a character. She comes in with all those problems that are on the other sheet. And then what comes out are all these, sorry, I lost my regular glasses. The positives, like I have family and I'm well taken care of, and I have inner wisdom, and I can be my own support. And I have to learn how to listen to me. So what she ends up with when she goes to this place is she gets this basket full of all this stuff, which you can't see because the factory looks really skinny. So what you can't see on the back end are all these little elves.
Ah!
These are little elves, and then what they do is how they make it work is they give like possibilities and love, and they provide the whole picture. They say, or they ask questions. What were they like in the past? They give courage, options, and so that's what resulted in her getting those in her basket.
That is awesome. I love it. All right. So you personally, what's your takeaway? What are you coming away with?
Mostly it was about perspective. It was about, oh my God, I didn't do my hair there. Mostly it was about perspective. I can see myself. I haven't looked at myself yet. Mostly it was about perspective, like just like shifting it. So for example, if I was frustrated with family, I was like, whoa, I have family. That's really cool. Or if I was feeling unsupported, I was like, whoa, I can be my own support. So that was really cool. I like that middle piece, just it sort of shifted perspective.
Awesome. And I love your little hardworking elves. They're so cute.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you, Yasmin. That's fantastic. Woo!
Thank you.
All right, who's going to jump in next and share your creation? Oh, my cheeks hurt. I was smiling so big on that. Mary Fran, awesome.
This one, I hope you can hear me.
You sound wonderful.
Oh, good. Well, the first part about the challenges, I did draw something, but when it came to the gratitude, I didn't know how to draw. I wrote words and all kinds of words that were wonderful. Some of them I wasn't sure why, but I can see now. Anyway, and in between, I wasn't so sure. I just drew what would be better, you know, than how it is. So then this part, this is the part I did in the last 40 minutes. And what it is, my daughter, when she grew up, she had something called a transistor. And it was some little gizmo that picked up signals, kind of like a radio. It's a transistor, I guess. Anyway, so what I picked up what Barb said, and it was so right on about wanting to be able to maintain the whatever it is that I get. And so if this is a transistor from the celestial realms, and I'm picking up 3 things that I want to keep. I don't know if you can read it or if it's backwards, but it says warning alarm is the kind of pinkish red. And then the yellow is transforming words from the alarm, like a new set of words from what my mind ordinarily tells me, which isn't very pretty. And the last part is transforming actions, because it's not enough for me to just think nice thoughts. If I don't act on them, not going to fly. So there you go.
That's awesome. All right. So what are you coming away with? What did this gizmo give to you today?
The memory that I do have the information I need if I call upon higher realms, rather than stick on the lower and just keep believing, you know, the minutia that my mind tells me. And damaging minutia, by the way.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's
thanks.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right, so we've got something for staying power here. Barb, looks like you inspired that a little bit. Barb, what did you come up with?
Okay, so these are the first drawings. So this is dealing with time. And I added the second drawing underneath, so they're interacting.
Oh,
This
cool.
is
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah.
so kind of remember that, right? So then there's dealing with feeling ungrounded when I go out of the house, but I force myself to go out of the house. And then this is being so passionate about so many different things and trying to do them all at one time. And so the gizmo, so I went online and I did a search for how to create change. And I created a gizmo that it broke change down, that you can't make change like I was thinking, well, okay, I made this new decision, so then it's going to just happen. I don't have to think about it anymore. So this represents the goal, whatever the goal is. And then that you have to align with your goal and establish what's the purpose that you have that goal, and what are the emotions that what do I want to feel like when I reach it. And then there's a take ownership, like attach pride and commitment and purpose to it. Take ownership of wanting the goal, be the leader. That just really struck me. It's like, I'm the leader of this. What am I waiting for? It's like I was waiting for some kind of adolescent to be in charge of making the change. Acknowledge the lessons learned as I go through it. And this was really important to realize that I'm dealing with an old habit. And so change is going to require new habits. And then they're all attached to each other. So I was just separating these out and thinking, well, if I just focus on this, it'll change. But if I focus on this, it's kind of like a mobile. You know, if one thing moves and changes, it's going to shift something else. So then, this big circle and that figure reaching out for this big circle was in the drawing, the first one. The second one relates because then I created this community of people that they all have bodies and they all have habits, but they have to work together. So all of these parts of me have to work together. And then the third drawing is me with all my arms out, but look what I created. It's just the arms. I didn't even look at this when I was doing it. It's just amazing to me. So what's my takeaway? That this is about habits, changing habits, and that I have to continue in the process because it takes time to change a habit, and I have to affirm it, and I have to realize what my goals are, and I have to be gratitude all along the way. Yes.
Wow. That is awesome.
And of course I had to make Little Doll Family remind me of that too. So.
And I love that the hands, that all these grabby hands are holding your tools.
They're right.
You know? These hands that hold too many projects, but they also hold all these tools. That's awesome. Yeah. Really fun.
So helpful. Thank you.
Really fun. Love it. All right. Who's next? Evelyn.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I feel like a TV ad. Can you hear me now? Okay, so in drawing, I was having trouble at first coming up with visuals of gratitude. But then when you said a gizmo, this is what I came up with. Okay, I had past regrets and sad. I had some debts and struggle. And I had the three that I illustrated had to do with raising my grandboys. And what I've been going through since last week, and all the stuff that was going on then was like today I was driving the car and I started feeling sad. And I thought about my ex, and I was feeling sad about that I didn't have him in my life anymore. I mean, and what I noticed was that all of this had to do with old ideas, old patterns, old identities. And I looked at it and I went, okay, so I used to think, okay, well, yeah, you feel sad, so you feel sad about it and let that pass. Well, no, I looked at feeling sad about that, kind of obliterated the good parts of it. You know, it was like I wasn't focusing really. I really wasn't focusing on good stuff. I was just kind of pitiful and feeling sad, because in reality there were good things, there were bad things, and everything. And what I was feeling was not empowering. Didn't help me, didn't move me forward or anything else. Didn't prepare me any better for getting the boys, you know? So so I started coming up with this, no, that's an old idea. No, you know, that's not me anymore. So choosing a new idea, recognizing an old mind talk, you know? And so this is what I came up. This is my gizmo. Okay, see if you can see this. Hold still. This is a little earth ball, and it's got a crown on it, and it says Queen of My World, okay? And then attached, there's a little chain, but attached to that then is this ribbon, and I've gone ahead and put on with safety pins too. I bought this package of sparkly jewels. They're plastic, and they were just so pretty, you know? And I thought, okay, I've got this long string. And so I decided, when I identify and discover an old idea that doesn't serve me, holds me back, sometimes blocks my good, then I will recognize it, and I'm going to make a new one, and I'm going to pin a jewel on my string. And the jewels are enriching my world that I am queen of. And I'm going to carry this little packet in a plastic, you know, Ziploc that has jewels and safety pins. Okay, I'm going to have this hanging from my light in the kitchen, because if I've got it with me, that means that when that comes up, even if I'm driving in the car, I can reach in my pocket, pull out a jewel, and I don't let it fritter away. You know what I mean? Where you actually remember, oh yeah, that's something that I'm doing, and that's a value, and so forth, so that I don't just automatically forget it or something like that. And it's not like I have to keep it forever in mind, but this is like an acknowledgement. And as I keep adding and adding and adding to it, it gets prettier and prettier and sparklier and makes me happy. So
I love that. I love that you're going to add to it. It's fantastic.
So anyway, yeah, add a jewel. So I guess my takeaway was, the very last thing was that I'm queen of my world, and that I can add value to me every day, you know, and have an acknowledgement of that.
Awesome. I love that. I love the interactiveness. I love how it's in your hands, you know, your world is in your hands. It's just awesome. These are great. These are great. Thanks, Evelyn. Wow, who's next? Karen. Hey, Karen.
Well, that's a pretty tough act to follow, I can tell you that. Mine is pretty simple. I spent a lot of time thinking about things I'm grateful for. And so I came up with a really long list, and that was a really good exercise for me, because I think sometimes we think, especially like I have my challenge. It is my challenges here. You see that? Yeah? It's probably backwards. Is it backwards to you?
No, it's never backwards to us.
Okay.
I don't understand that.
So I've had a really bad problem in my back the last week or so, and it's just causing me a lot of pain. And there's not much I can do about it except, you know, the usual stuff. And so that was, I thought, it's kind of depressing, you know, but it was it was this was a good opportunity just to think about things that aren't related to that, because lots of times it makes you feel better. So I decided I would make use my things to make cards that I could cut up and have around. And so I would have this box. I have a box that I like a lot. Where did it go? Let's see now. Oh, here it is. Have some type of box to put them in, so that I could bring them out and maybe put a few on top. And I think you're always just taking time to see what delights you that day, because that's something you should be grateful for. The power of delight is really, I think, one of the things that makes life just way fun. And we tend to forget about them because it's just kind of a fleeting thing, you know. But like I got a thank you card in the mail, a little one, and it was really nice to get, and I wasn't expecting it. So I have it. That's on my list of thank you notes. So I think there's just so many things to be grateful for, and we forget about them, that you know that you should be grateful for them, and it's nice to be reminded of all the nice things that you have in your life. And that's my takeaway. It's just that no matter how bad things are, there's good things have happened to you in your life, and they will again. So I think that just having them at hand, you know, all the things that you like and that you're grateful for, so you can take them out and look at them, and there they are, you know, in their cute little box.
Awesome. This is so uplifting. This is such a wonderful set of art assignments. Who's going to go next? Chris. Awesome.
I love
Hi.
this. Was so great. So I may have some emotions, not unusual for me. But anyway, mine is a transformational blessing. It comes in essential oil, it comes in a spray, it comes in a balm. So you can put it on your skin or you can spray it in the air and breathe it in. And so I'm going to read it to you, because as I sprayed it, this is what came up. When you feel out of control and don't know what to do next, may you know it's time to surrender, for there is a loving force drawing you to your perfect solution in perfect timing. When you find yourself in the depths of despair, may you know you are never without hope, for placed in your soul is a seed awaiting the nurturing of your self-love and compassion to blossom. When you feel like the gods have abandoned you, may you know that your loving kindness angel is only a breath away. And when you give yourself a gentle in and out breath, you will feel your body soften into her warm, embracing arms. And when you feel overwhelmed by physical concerns, may you know that you are shedding what no longer serves you. And your spirit guide is readying you to step into your abundant life of well-being.
Wow. Wow.
That was so great.
And that comes in a balm.
That comes in a balm. Yes. So all you have to do is, you be with what the shit is, right? Mm-hmm. And then you take a moment and you just, breathe in, and then out comes the blessing. There you go.
I want it in your voice. That's the one I'm going to order. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
You can also put drops in the water and put a little, put it in a diffuser.
Excellent. Oh, I love it.
I love this. This was the best. Now I know what my blessings are. Thank you. Thank you. This was too great for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, this is so fun. Wow. All right. Who's next? I gotta say, for the day, I really didn't feel like coming to class. This has really worked out really well. So thank you guys. You're inspiring me so much. All right, Linda.
Hi there.
Hi.
The main thrust of the challenge had to do with this new message that I've been working on for the last year, and realizing that the website I have just doesn't fit it. It doesn't match. And so I've just said, okay, I worked with someone. I've got some new pages to put on a website. And my challenge is to stay away from fussing with every little detail before I actually get anything out there to the world. So that was part of it. And I don't know if I didn't quite get how to actually do those drawings, so there wasn't much room for each one, but you see how big she is. So this was the challenge of not having enough time to do art or play in that arena. And I realized that she was actually the solution to the other. So the challenge of that was the solution to the other parts that I'm looking for. That was kind of a big aha. And so in the end, what I did was another one of my collage-y kind of things. Let me see. Okay. So this part here represents this new website, this idea of melding and working with masculine, feminine energies is what this thing is representing. And the idea to keep it simple, just get it out there, right? And then I saw this, a friend gave me a new stack of magazines, which was really fun. So I love this, like her skirt is the art and this, essence of play, but she's actually embodying that as well. So I loved how being in the art and being me doing it is the same. So that's kind of the solution. What does that say? Allow fresh vision. So that sense of playing and using the art time as such a key part of the whole deal, not a kind of sideline or, And then the result is sharing it everywhere. So sharing this new website and the message and all that through that sense of play and art. So that's it. Pretty simple.
So what would you say is your takeaway from your gizmo here, which I love?
Well, just that really, I keep using this term, make time for art, like it's something I have to really work at rather than it's just part of the day then, like just allow it to be part of the day. I come out here to my work table and I can play for a little while, and that energy generates so much of the rest. It keeps me out of the fussiness. It keeps me out of the other crap, this is your whole message for all your work, play and be creative, but I don't let myself do it often. So basically that.
Yeah.
And I just want to say how fantastic everybody's thing has been. Oh my God. I hope you all post them on the site, because it's so inspiring. So I encourage us to all do that.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome if and I know sometimes it's hard, to get over the forum and post something, but it's sure, talk about staying power, right? And all of these things that we get from one another. Of course, when we see them over there, that makes it, easier to have that touch point. Yeah, these are amazing. Sally.
Okay, I'm unmuted, right?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So I found this very needed because the last 2 weeks have been really, really tough weeks. And so what I found really interesting about my list is I actually started from things that were the easiest, which I was not aware of. This was totally not a conscious thing, but I started with things that were the easiest to be grateful for, and ending with something that I felt I could not be grateful for in a million years. And so I just wasn't even going to go there. But what I realized is after you asked us to do both the wording, I couldn't choose words to go with that one, but I could choose an image. And I thought that was very, very interesting that an image could come forward, but in terms of putting it into words, they were not there. And that one was, this was really helpful to see that, I'll just start with my takeaway. My takeaway is I always thought gratitude was a feeling. And it was a feeling that I could have or not have. And what I came away with this exercise was that gratitude is actually a choice. And it's something that I can choose at any time and in any moment. And so that really was such a deep shift in perspective. And that's what I'm finding in this series that we're doing together. This time is really this shift in perspective in all these different ways. And so what came to me was on Monday, I had this calendar, this photo calendar. It's all in pieces now because I was cutting it up. But I had this little card calendar from an artist friend that are these gorgeous photos of flowers that she had gifted me for the year. And when I was walking by it, like on Monday or Tuesday, I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And I heard right away, you're going to be using it for this week's Wonderland. And so I thought, wow, that's interesting. And then I'm doing a major overhaul in my office. And I found this sheet of hearts that I had printed out, I don't know when. And again, I heard you're going to be using that tonight. And I thought, flowers and hearts, I wonder what the principle is that we're going to be exploring. And so what came to me to do was to cut out these gorgeous flower images from the cards. And so here I'll put this one down. So here you can see these just amazing photographs. And what I realized when I was doing this was that nature for me, I'm always grateful in nature. And whenever I choose to go into my heart, that's where gratitude naturally lives for me. And so I just loved that these were like these little heart cards that I can use as cards. And literally, when I'm having an issue of non-gratitude, I can choose one of these to look at the different colors, the different shapes, and ask for guidance. And then the topic one is, let me see if you guys can see it here. These were little images from the back of her calendar card. This one says spirit right here. And then the butterfly for transformation because of the exercise we did. And this little thing says ask, believe, and receive. And I loved the little dragonfly because it really, for me, dragonfly symbolizes illusion. And so it's really an illusion within my own mind when I can't be grateful within a particular situation. And then this is the back. And for me, the diamond symbolizes grounding and foundation because of the four corners. And I love that it's kind of energy at the top and then condensing and forming into matter. So that's what came through for me tonight.
I love the little cards. That's fantastic. Again, the hands, the hands-onness and the manipulatives, it's just awesome.
Yeah, and the other thing I forgot to mention was that I really mangled this one at the end, trying to get all these things stuck on. And that's my favorite part of the whole experience, because it was really reminding me that gratitude isn't perfect. That, gratitude can be messy and not look so hot at times, but it's still gratitude.
Well, that's the perfect transition to mine, because I was doing a digital art thing and nothing was, I don't know, nothing was going right with it. And I was aware of how much I was learning from the process, right, of things not going how I wanted. So I learned just as much as that than I did. So through my drawings, one thing that sort of came up, there were a couple of incidences where this sort of double circle image came up a few times. And so I was thinking that maybe my gizmo could be something like, I was thinking of it as like a set of lenses that, and similar to what Mary Fran said, like a lens that kind of connected me to like a higher vibration beyond just where I was. So I was sort of playing with this digitally. This little image here, that I was putting like in the images, that's a painting of mine of things that represents gratitude. So I've kind of put that in there. But yeah, things weren't quite working how I wanted. Anyway, but then when I really started to feel a shift, and when I kind of stopped trying to make something that wasn't working, was when I started playing and I started realizing I started shifting all the background. And so that's when, to me, this thingamajiggy came into, like, that's what I realized that my gizmo is. It's not even so much changing what I'm looking at, but it changes the background around it. And I'm not really sure what that means yet, but I think it's important. The fact that I don't, like, I have that feeling of this is important, even though I don't quite know what it is. So I think that my shift is something about changing the environment or the surrounding or the context or something. It's like not just looking at the thing and trying to shift it, but changing what's around it somehow. And I think that there's something really important there for me, even though I don't know what it is yet. So anyway, that was my sort of celestial transformation Gizmodajiggies thing. So awesome. This was so cool, everybody. Did everybody share, I think? Barbara Kraus sent me a note that she had to hop off, but that she'll check everybody's out. And yeah, this was fabulous. Thanks to Gratitude for coming in and supporting us all. And so from jewels to sprays to, I mean, all kinds of things, to this mobile. I mean, we got everything going on. But I think what I really like is the interactivity, that all of them are things that we get to kind of move around. So I feel much better myself. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Let's unmute. We can all say good night. That's the fun part.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Oh, and let's all say, what did I say?
Gizmodajiggies.
Gizmodajiggies.
Gizmodajiggies. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Happy dreams.
Yeah. Happy dreams.